let me ask you something. Do you ever feel like modern life, with all its amazing convenience, might be making you a little too comfortable? Well, today we're going to do a quick briefing on how to break free from that very trap. We've got 3 powerful, actionable steps to help you reclaim your edge. All right, so here's the game plan for the next few minutes. First, we'll quickly touch on the problem, what we're calling the crisis of comfort. Then we're jumping straight into 3 solutions you can actually use, and we'll wrap up with one thing you can do the second this is over. Let's do it. Let's start with a number that is kind of shocking when you really think about it. 93%. That's how much of our lives we now spend indoors. I mean, just let that sink in. Our entire species evolved outdoors, and now we've basically sealed ourselves off from it.
And this leads to the big question, right? All this comfort is nice, but what's the real cost? Well, the research shows we are a staggering 14 times less active than our ancestors. This has created what author Michael Easter calls a comfort crisis, and it's tied to some of our biggest health problems, both physical and mental.
So, what do we do about it? How do we fight back? Here's our first action item. And don't worry, this isn't some super complicated program. It's a simple visual tool for getting back outside. It's called the Nature Pyramid.
So here's how it breaks down, and what's cool is it's kind of like a prescription. The bottom of the pyramid, the foundation, is just 20 minutes outside 3 times a week. We're talking your backyard, a local park, easy stuff. And that alone is proven to slash your stress levels. Then you've got the middle tier, 5 hours a month on some local trails. But the top, that's where the real magic happens. 3 days a year, totally off the grid. This is what helps your brain produce those alpha waves, the same ones you see in expert meditators, leading to this deep creativity and calm that sticks with you long after you're back. Okay, so once we're reconnecting with nature, our second action is about reconnecting with our own potential. This is all about pushing your limits just to see what you're really made of.
The whole idea is based on this concept called a misogi. It's a Japanese term, but think of it as a modern rite of passage. It's simple. Once a year, you pick one big, hard thing to do. And this isn't about, setting a new personal best in your 5K. This is about finding the absolute edge of what you think you can do.
So how does this work? Well, there are a few simple rules. First, it has to be legitimately hard. But rule number 2 is the real key. You should only have about a 50-50 shot at actually pulling it off. That uncertainty is where all the growth is. Third, you don't brag about it. No Instagram posts. This is a journey for you, not for likes. The whole point is to push yourself to that moment where your brain is just screaming, "I quit," and then find out what happens when you don't listen.
All right, action number 3. This one is less about a single event and more about a total mindset shift. It's about fighting that comfort crisis every single day in all the small moments. It's about becoming a 2%er.
And this slide right here perfectly shows what we're up against. Researchers literally just watched people. And when they had a choice between an escalator and stairs, 98% of people took the easy way up. It's not our fault, really. Our brains are hardwired to save energy. It's an ancient survival trait that, well, it just doesn't serve us anymore.
So being a 2%er is all about consciously deciding to override that instinct. It's a mindset where you embrace tiny, short-term discomforts because you know there's a huge long-term benefit. It means you take the stairs. You carry your groceries instead of getting a cart for just 2 bags. You park at the back of the parking lot. These little choices seem like nothing, but believe me, they add up to a massive impact over time.
Okay, so we've got 3 big actions: the Nature Pyramid, the misogi, and the 2%er mindset. But where do you start? Like today? Let's talk about the single most accessible tool for embracing this whole idea of beneficial discomfort right now.
It's called rucking. And yeah, the name might sound a little intense, but the idea couldn't be simpler. Rucking just comes from rucksack, which is what the military calls a backpack. So it's literally just walking, but with some weight on your back. That's it.
And you can start this immediately. I'm serious. Grab any old backpack you've got, throw 10 or 20 pounds of weight in there, books, a couple of water bottles, whatever. Then just go on the same walk you were maybe already planning to take. It's such a simple way to turn an everyday activity into something more.
So why do it? Well, the payoff is huge. You're getting your strength and your cardio done at the same time. The weight naturally pulls your shoulders back, which is great for your posture. You're going to burn way more calories than regular walking. We're talking 30 to 300% more. And maybe the most important thing, especially as we get older, is that it's one of the absolute best ways to build critical bone density. That's what protects you from fractures down the line.
And that brings us to the end. We've talked about this crisis of comfort, and we've gone over 3 powerful actions you can take.
But just knowing this stuff doesn't do anything, right? Action is everything. So the real question isn't what you learned, it's what you're going to do. Will you take the stairs? Will you pack that backpack for your walk? I'll leave you with this. What is the one small, uncomfortable step you will take today?